What's up, guys? Once again, it is mp4podcast.com. We have some Injustice gameplay for you guys. Today, what I want to talk about is the Xbox One. A couple of things and just how I feel about going into the next generation of video game consoles. And why I feel like I kind of want to go next generation, but kind of don't want to go next generation. One of the rumors that is going around is that Xbox One might be, when I say might be, that's a rumor. Remember, it's a rumor. I'll leave some links in the description box in case you guys want to check it out for yourself. The Xbox One might be the last video game console from Microsoft. Now, I didn't know this, but Microsoft's, has been reported that they lost $3 billion on the Xbox 360, I guess in software or hardware or something. And that's not that really good. And I thought Microsoft was turning money over hand over fist. I mean, I thought the Xbox brand was very profitable. So Microsoft is losing money on Xbox. They're losing money on Microsoft Surface. That's like, their tablet, Windows thingamajig or whatever. They're losing money on Bing. And they have a new CEO who's replacing Steve Ballmer. And a lot of people are saying that this new CEO wants to make Microsoft very profitable. Get rid of all the parts, all the departments that are losing money for Microsoft, and focus on Windows again. Make sure you have an amazing operating system. And they also want to focus on business software. Now, a friend of mine who is an IT guy, he runs the IT department for a big company. They have around 2,000 computers or 4,000 computers. It's a very big company, downtown Boston, so on. And they have Microsoft representatives come to these big companies where they check all the licenses, make sure you have a legit version of Windows, a legit version of Microsoft Office. And, it takes maybe a couple of days or so. And somebody from Microsoft will say, okay, there's 2 computers here that don't have a legit version of Microsoft Office. You just have to pay for these licenses. And it's not like a write-up where they fine you or something, because they know if you have 4,000 computers, maybe somebody over here will install a version of Office because they need to get a report done. But they just want to keep up on it. And that's where it seems where Microsoft is very profitable. Now, there is a downside to Microsoft also trying to say, okay, we're just going to go software now, Windows and business software. Because Germany and other countries have dropped Windows and have gone to Linux, because Linux is free. The problem with Linux is not user-friendly if you never used it before. Ubuntu does make it very easy to download software. It's like it has its own little store, and you just click download and software downloads. But then again, there's software that you may want to have that you have to do the line command. It's not hard to do. It's just that if you don't know, you're kind of lost, and it's like a pain in the ass. And you're like, I want to go back to Windows or Mac. Also, Sony has been losing money also with the PlayStation 3. I heard they lost around $15 billion. And, if you know anything about the PlayStation 3 history, the PlayStation 3, the first one, I used to have the 60 gig, and that would have backwards compatibility, SD card slots, 4 USB inputs, and, they started to remove features. They brought out another version of the FAT. They had the SD cards, missing. I think they brought it down to 2 USBs, and then they made the first Slim, and now they have the new Ultra Slim, the cheap version. But Sony is losing money in a lot of other departments. But with the PlayStation 2, Sony was actually making a profit. And, that's where Sony wants to go back to, is having a profitable gaming division, because they know it's going to be very good for the company. But Sony, their investors wanted them to sell the movie division. So it seems that Microsoft isn't hurting for money, but some of these investors, they just want to get rid of all these other things where Microsoft has been failing at. Even though I have to say, out of all the consoles of this generation, the Xbox 360, that is my favorite console. I love the controller. I mean, it's more stable than the PlayStation 3. I mean, the ports are better and so on. But, you know, Microsoft and Sony, the way their business model is, it's like they take a loss on the hardware, they try to make it up on licensing fees and so on, and, you know, third-party software and so. I think it was like $1,000 or $10,000 or something to have a patch approved for the Xbox 360. That's crazy. You have to pay to have your game patched. I guess there's like a team at Microsoft that looks at the patch to make sure it's not going to screw up your console or anything like that. So that's kind of understandable. I think that with the Xbox One, where they say, okay, you don't have to pay for patches anymore. So that's some money that Microsoft's not going to get anymore, even though it seems like kind of bad to charge for a patch. But then again, you look at Sony, and when Sony released a patch a couple of months ago that started bricking PS3s because, you know, people had they upgraded their PS3s with different hard drives, and that firmware had a problem with certain brands of hard drives. That's why I don't like really messing with the hard drive. Now with Nintendo, even though we know that the Wii U isn't doing that well as of right now, it's kind of like in a slump. It seems like Nintendo is getting ready to really push their software line. I mean, they have the Zelda remake, Wind Waker, and so on. They got the Mario Kart, you know, Smash Brothers, and you have some new RPGs coming out, X, that's open world. So Nintendo, I think they're probably looking at this generation trying to be another GameCube, which isn't a bad thing because the GameCube was actually a pretty good console. But Nintendo's in the business of not taking a loss on the hardware, and I think they maybe should have just went with a regular controller and put a Pro controller with the Wii U and brought out the nunchucks. It seems that people still like the nunchucks, you know, and so on. Call of Duty is fun with the nunchucks, you know, with the motion control. And I think they should have had that. Now, I'm not saying that the tablet is a bad idea at all. It does come at a cost, and we don't know, you know, how powerful is the Wii U. It's been speculated it's kind of next generation. It is next generation. It's not next generation. Now, this is my take on the Wii U. I think the next generation, the Wii U is somewhat next generation. It does have a better GPU, and it's able to do some characteristics of the CPU. Now, it has that ESRAM. Microsoft's using that as well to speed up the Xbox One and so on. And it's going to take a developer that really knows how to use that software. Now, it may not be like the PlayStation 4 or the Xbox One, but if the Wii U is actually programmed super like popular, I mean, if they go in the right direction in programming, I don't even know why I said popular. If they go in the right direction, they have a really good team that really knows that hardware. They can probably make something look like, okay, maybe it was a first generation PS1, I mean, not PS1, PS4 or an Xbox One. I'm hoping the Wii U does good. I have one, you know, so I don't know where this generation is going. Now, here's the thing. Some people are saying that the Xbox One may be the last console from Microsoft. And people have speculated that Sony was going to pull out because Sony is losing money in the movie department. They're losing money in the TV department. And they're trying to hold this company together. And hopefully the PlayStation 4 is going to be able to repair Sony. I will say this. Sony makes some kick-ass cameras. If you guys know, been following my channel, you guys know I like photography. And I really do like what Sony is doing in the camcorder and photography world. Now, here's the thing. All right. I like Steam. I like Steam a lot. I like Origin. I like Origin, but it's not as good as Steam. What I like about Steam is, you know, I watched Sleeping Dogs for like $17, and that was a pretty good deal. And I bought the DLC for like $12. Now that game that I own, Watch Dogs, I own the rights to play it. I don't actually own it the way, you know, like a physical disc or anything like that. But when my gaming laptop breaks, I'm going to get another laptop, and that laptop I can just, log into Steam and get my games again. If the Xbox One is the last Xbox console from Microsoft, if you buy any DLC, I'm pretty sure they're going to turn off those servers sometime. Maybe, the Xbox One, it has an 8-year run like the Xbox 360. Maybe they'll keep the servers on for 3 or 4 years and say, hey, we're shutting things down. Okay? Who knows? They could do that with PlayStation 4 or, the Wii U, if there's any DLC for the Wii U or any of these other things. That's why when it comes to DLC, I'm not really that keen on buying it for the console. Sometimes I do, but I'm not like crazy buying DLC. I bought the DLC for Injustice. I like Injustice, but hey, maybe I might lose, what I bought on the DLC when the servers go down and I can't re-download my stuff for Injustice on the PS3. So I'm just going to say, hey, don't delete it. But at the same time, what if the hard drive breaks and I can't download it again? On the Xbox 360, you can download your DLC to a USB drive. That's what some of the Call of Duty players do. They're playing Black Ops 2. They want to go back to regular maps. They pull out the USB key. So, there's cons and pros to all the consoles. But let me know what you guys think in the description box. Kind of interested in what you guys are thinking about going next generation. Once again, guys, this has been MP4Podcast.com signing out. You guys have an awesome day. Later, guys. Bye.